This Winnie-the-Pooh edition is flocked. I mean, really, it's flocked. Yeah, I know. Flocked is actually a printing technique where it feels like corduroy or suede to an extent because it's got millions of fibers, maybe an eighth of an inch long, and it's millions of them. They're on the cover of a book, and you feel it. It feels like corduroy or suede. It's Winnie-the-Pooh, the 100th anniversary. Winnie-the-Pooh in the house on Pooh Corner. It's the 100th anniversary of it, and that means it's in the public domain. So happy how you can make really bad movies with Winnie-the-Pooh now, but it's always a classic, and for people of a certain age, Winnie-the-Pooh is always going to sound a certain way. That's the way it is for me. When I read this book, and whenever Pooh spoke, it had that voice. Was it Wilford Brimley? I forget who it was, but it was when Disney did the cartoons, like back in the late 70s, mid 70s, early 70s, whatnot. It's that Pooh voice. But Pooh's a classic thing for a reason. It's the 100th anniversary. You say to yourself, wow, somewhere without the course of my kids' reading career, we have these books. Why do I need this? It's because this is a centennial celebration of Winnie-the-Pooh, and I swear they could have a 120th celebration of Winnie-the-Pooh and say now it's flocked with a little bit of brown tint that evokes the bear scent, and you would still buy it because it's Winnie-the-Pooh, and this book is classic for a reason. You're reminded of that when you read it because of the very slow, patient storytelling in this, and it's so neat the way it's done. If you haven't read Winnie-the-Pooh in years, because it is so patient, so old school, and you feel like you're about 1,000 years old when you say this, but they just don't write stories like this anymore because it's so patient. Like, one character is barely introduced in one story. It's just stories of small vignettes or little stories. And one character, I'll say Roo or Kanga or whoever, they're introduced. Just as an aside. Nothing major. Oh, look, it's my neighbor, Kanga. Hello, Kanga. And they'll disappear for a couple stories because somebody else will come in. And it all has just a natural flow to it. Like you're seeing good friends and hanging out with them and just effortlessly communicating with your neighbors who happen to be your friends, who are anthropomorphic bears who live in the woods, and they're very friendly. This book is cute. Do you have Winnie-the-Pooh yet for your kids? And your kids being elementary school kids. This is, I mean, it's 100 years old and still being talked about by middle-aged bloggers for a reason. Is because it's so darn classic. It really is. It's the perfect read aloud book to young elementary school audiences because they're short enough to where they can, if you engage the voices properly, it's short enough to where you can read one story and it holds their attention. But it's got that long form connectivity that says, you know what, like you read about that character one time and here they are again. And it's all coming to this natural conclusion. Not a climax of anything, just everything builds on everything. You want to call it the perfect book or the perfect story, but it's just a very great book. And if you don't have it in your children's library, you need it. And what better option than this edition that is flocked and it feels velvet. Feels like a velvet cover. Really does. You just want to touch it. It's like a kitten you don't have to feed or give milk to or vaccinate. It's Winnie-the-Pooh, the 100th anniversary edition, and it's as classic as the day is long, and your all-day forever library needs it.